Hey guys, I'm back. I know I've been away for a little bit, but oh my gosh, my studio's coming along great. I'm so excited. I'm just trying to get this fully in view here. I got a bunch of jewelry and fun parts to show you, and a couple other little fun knickknacks. Quick update, our Social Security was fixed. Finally, we're so grateful to our local congressman's office. The woman that works for our congressman, she just stayed on task and stayed on it, and we finally got our back pay, and we got a letter stating it had been repaired and we no longer had a back overpayment due. So starting in May we'll get our full check again, which is very exciting. But I want to share, I got a couple of non-jewelry things to show you. Then I'm going to show you some of the jewelry and other little nicky-nacky things I bought. I found this angel for my angel cookie cutter collection. I thought she was very pretty. I'm not sure if I have this one. I don't think I do. I didn't pay much for her, somewhere between 50 cents and $1. I just don't pay. Let me see if you can see her better that way. There you go. Very pretty. And then this is a funky one. And like I said, I've got a bunch of jewelry parts and buttons and stuff to show you, but I wanted to show you these couple oddball things. Paid $3 for this. When I was in high school, I went to an all-girls Catholic high school, and we had to sell almond roca for a fundraiser. So I found this for our card collection. And the reason we collect cards is, one, we love them. And two, and they're all in here. My husband counted them at the store to make sure. And they're just kind of cool. We used to collect spoons. When we traveled or our kids traveled, they would send us those little souvenir spoons. And I've got a whole case of them, but they don't sell them anymore. We went to Virginia last summer, drove from Texas to Virginia and back, and found one at Mount Vernon that was really expensive. And our son, who actually started our collection, saw it, and so I just bought it, even though it was like $18. But there just aren't any. And my husband collected thimbles, but you can't find those either. My hands are very dry, I apologize. And so, but everyone had cards. So we decided, since we love playing cards, we collect them. We have a nice little fun collection of them, vintage ones mainly, that we'd start collecting cards. So that was a fun little purchase. Then I found these miniatures. Well, first I found these, some little knobs, glass knobs that can be used for all kinds of projects. And they were $4, so $1 a knob, and they're nice, really nice little knobs. And we're always doing little pieces of furniture and stuff. And then these I loved. I thought these were gorgeous. They're like a flower. See if I can get it. Oh, I can't get it open, but I think you can see it's like a flower. And they're light pink, and there's 3 little miniature ones. So those will be fun to have. And I paid $1.50, so 50 cents each for those. And then I found these Hobby Lobby vintage pieces. Now I was going to buy a set of these because I wanted to gift them to my granddaughter who loves miniature books. And they were very expensive online. I got this miniature vintage Hobby Lobby for $2. The rubber band's broken and off, but I mean, look at how cute that is. A little tiny wooden shelf and the little bitty books. And then I got, these. We have I found this really cool hook. Like it's a piece of wood with different vintage faucet handles. And one of them was broken when I bought it. It was the center was broken out. And these aren't real handles, but it'll work. So we're going to fix it with that so we can hang that up. And this I paid $3, so $1.50 for each of those. And then I got this. Is this the cutest thing? They're teeny tiny enamel mugs with a teeny tiny enamel mug holder. I thought that was fun. Our granddaughter loves miniatures. I haven't opened this yet. This has some cool stuff in it, so I thought I'd open it on camera because I thought this one was pretty interesting. And this one I paid also $2, vintage Hobby Lobby, but this one was opened. And it's got all kinds of cool stuff in here. It's got these little miniature towels with ribbon. I think this is supposed to be a towel bar, I think. And then this is the little soap container, little soap dish here. And they feel like metal. Little comb and brush. So it's like a little bathroom ensemble. See, a little comb and brush. I don't know if those show up or not, but I'll put it on the white. And then these little cutouts, they're supposed to be, I guess, towels. They're kind of coming apart a little bit, but they're very cute. They got the little bit of embroidery on them. I think somebody was making these. They're just so cute. And then a little bitty toilet paper holder with little bitty toilet paper on it. I just thought for $2 that was really, really cute. I wanted to get that. I'll put these in the lid to get them out of the way. The lid of my jar, which I also got at the antique store. This gorgeous, gorgeous jar with the white lid for $15. And it's a good price because some people were asking $25 for the same. In fact, the booth right around the corner had the exact same jar. The lid was more beat up for $25. Okay, now I'm going to get to the one more thing, and then I'll get to the stuff that you want to see. Although I think some of you will get a kick out of these. This is 24 old-fashioned collector's miniature country store groceries. And they're just little blocks with a label on them. I thought they were fun. So anyway, I thought those were fun. And that was also $2. All the Hobby Lobby stuff. Now this is the stuff that I was really excited about. I was at this booth and they had a whole big bowl of these little jewelry pieces for $3 each. So I thought for the fun of it, because they all want, get this, between $45 and $75 for a jar not even as big as this jar here, which you can see is pretty big. They're little jars. I mean, like mayonnaise sized jars for like $45 to $75. So I thought this might be worth giving it a try. So I bought a bunch of them. Paid $3 for this one. I opened them all up so it'd be easier on camera. And there was some cool stuff. This is like a little brooch, a beat up guitar brooch. I got some broken buttons that don't have their back. Some really nice beads. There's a bunch of these all through there. Another button with the back broken off, but they can be glued onto things. All kinds of, like this is a button cover. Really pretty. This is a gorgeous little pearl, or big pearl, but you could glue something on top of that, you know. You could layer it and make something fun. Rhinestone. A pretty little pin, and this actually has the pin back on it in there. And that looks vintage. Some kind of weird bead that has thread around it. One earring. It's beat up, but again, you can do stuff with it. This wouldn't be a button or whatever it was, maybe earring, but that's a really pretty one. That could even be layered on something like that. Some flowers that I think were buttons that lost their shank, but they're really pretty. And then this rose, which is a clip-on earring. I mean, look how weird that is. And just a couple random beads. Here's a button that's kind of cool with a rhinestone in it. A piece of a broken earring, but the beads and the spacer are cool. So I thought for $3, that was a pretty good little bag. And when I added up all my bags, I paid as much for this. Well, I wouldn't have gotten a jar for what I paid. And I got to pick and choose. There was a lot of them, and I didn't buy but the ones that looked interesting to me. I did look through them and make sure. So I think I did pretty good. They're $3 a bag, and this was another one. Jewelry pieces, $3. And we have this. Now this is glass. Let's see. I don't know if I can find something to, let me find it. I have my drinking glass here. This is a piece of glass, I believe. It feels like it could be. And that's gorgeous. And then a beaded bead, which I love. This is off of a piece of jewelry. I don't know what it was. This is a broken button. The shank's gone. This is an earring, a single earring. Got a bead. Oh, well, there that bead went. Where'd it go? Oh, I don't think it's a bead. Let me get it. It fell onto the floor. Oh, yeah, this is cool. This is a clear button, and it's really pretty. It's got almost like a bead in the middle. It's sparkly and faceted, but there's no hole. It's just a neat little piece. This is like a disc that you could set something on like that. This is missing a couple stones, but I have lots of little rhinestones. This is an interesting, kind of weird piece. And then there's an earring, and it's kind of cool. I like that heart. Very pretty. I like both pieces. Part of an earring that's broken. This is a button with the shank broken again. But isn't that gorgeous? I wish it was a real button because that's stunning. This one's cool. This is actually an intact button. And looks like a drum on the top. Yeah. It's really nice. And then this is just a flat piece. And this is a single earring. And this is just a little, it looks like a slide that you can put on something. And then this earring, which is kind of interesting. So I think all in all, for $3, that was a pretty good little, oh, and then this, which is really pretty. This is a button. I don't know what that is. I don't really see a place to hook onto it, but it's really pretty. So let's put those back in their bag and I'll get out the next one. So I'll be curious at the end of the video. Let me know if you think $3 a bag is worth it. I think most of the bags have something that's worth the $3, but it was kind of an experiment. It's the cheapest thing I'd seen. This is another one, $3 for jewelry pieces. And let's see what's in this one. All right, this one has a black bead also. This is really pretty. This is a single earring, but boy, that's pretty. Very reflective, and it looks like all the parts are there. This is a broken something. Looks like that was a button. It's got some kind of, maybe a cloth loop, orange fabric. This is a broken button. Very pretty. I don't know if this person got this from a crafter that had taken all the shanks off, because very few of the buttons, now that one does have it, have the shanks. Here's another one of those interesting clip-on earrings. This one looks like it would actually be wearable. But isn't that cool? It's plastic, but it's neat. And then here's a little rhinestone embellishment, intact. A couple of these coins. Leopard print earring. Another pearl with rhinestones around it. And this clearly was a broken earring. What does it say on the back? Roman, I think is what it says. This little broken piece. This one's interesting. I like the look of the chain. I like all the parts. It's an earring. You can see there's the ear wire. It's all tangled up in the chain. This one I might have to be careful with. It looks like it's got a little bit of the green on it. So I might not be able to use that one chain, but we'll see. Here's a pearl earring. That's really cool. Here's another broken piece. This, not exactly sure what that is. I mean, is that the front? Probably. Kind of a deep purple. Pearl. Really pretty button. It's a shame the shank is broken on it. A pendant. It's missing some rhinestones, but I know when you make that rhinestone art, you don't always have to have every piece look perfect. Oh, this one's pretty too. Look at that. It looks carved. I'm not exactly sure what the material is, but it's very pretty. And then this little cabochon. Do you need to walk through here? Oh, I thought I heard David, but maybe not. He's in the backyard mowing. I thought I heard him come in. I got two that are just buttons in here too. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 more jewelry, and 2 that are just buttons. Okay. let's take the next one of these. There's some cool pieces in here. This is a ceramic piece, and that's really cool. And then another kind of a, it's not a pearl, it's just like a white piece of acrylic, but there's a lot of glue around there. But it could still be used on something if you maybe glued something around there. Oh, there's a lot of possibilities. Here's a neat vintage earring, missing the rhinestone or the probably red bead that was on top, but that drop is super cool. Here's a flat piece off of a piece of jewelry. This piece, again, has some of the black on it, or the maybe black going onto the blue, and it's a really interesting stone. It's kind of a clear opalescent. Then there's this frosted piece. A lot of these cabochons in here, in these bags. This one I actually got 2 matching cabochons. Big ones. They're really big. And then here's a pretty vintage piece with a really nice crystal in the middle. This looks like, I don't know if that was an earring. Probably an earring. But it's very pretty. Here's a piece that's all vintage rhinestones. Not quite dead stones, but definitely darkened vintage looking stones. This is a cool piece. You can tell it's older. The plastic, maybe a button. Yeah, it has a shank on it. So that's a neat older piece. Here's another rhinestone piece. It looks like a piece of an earring. This is neat. It looks like chain welded together. I think that's really cool. Well, this, you could put a cabochon in that. If you have, you know, I know I've got plenty of sizes, so you could glue one in there and that would look really cool, or glue pretty much anything on there. Here's this looks like one of those with snap type buttons that are put on with a tool. Looks like there's some kind of adhesive on there, but that's metal and it's very pretty. This is a neat vintage looking piece. I don't think it's real silver, and I doubt that's a real stone, but it's still very pretty. Here's a cabochon again, a pearl. Here's a little metal heart that's got a hole just on the top. It's like a bead cap, very beat up. Oh, that's a pretty rhinestone. Feels like nice quality too. And this one also is signed. I cannot see. I'll hold it up to the camera and see if you can read it. I don't have my loop with me, so I don't know what that says. I think this little bale is cute with the leaves. Another coin, and then like a little handmade clay rose. So that was another fun bag. And oh, there's that. And let's see, here's another one that looked interesting. I kind of went through and looked through the bags, you know, I couldn't open them, but I could look around the outside before I purchased them. Now this is an earring that almost looks like it could be silver. There's no markings, but it'll be one we definitely test just to make sure it's not silver. It got squished, but doesn't mean you can't use it for something. And then I ended up with a bunch of these gorgeous heavy metal beads. I think I ended up with about a total of about 10 of them, and they are heavy. These are really heavy beads. They're gorgeous. They got a pretty pattern on them. This is a neat piece. It's plastic. I'm not entirely sure what it says. I'll put it up close to the camera. Maybe you can make it out. A cloth button. I guess you could stitch through that cloth on the back. A plastic bead. Another pearl, but I like the embellishment around it. That's really pretty. It's a button cover, actually. Here's a single earring. It looks like it's completely intact, so that could be used for something. It actually has the backing still on it. Oh, there goes my phone across the room. Here's a pretty, that looks like the earring in the other box might match this one, the other bag. Here's some pretty pearls. I thought this was interesting. It's a little hook. I thought that was pretty cool. That's a pretty earring. I don't think this one's signed. It amazes me the really pretty jewelry I find that's not signed. This one's also a button cover, very pretty. Seems to be nice quality. I like this little embroidered piece. I think that would be something fun. And then another, just a, couple plastic beads, but they're pretty. And this little piece, which is very, very pretty, piece of an earring. And then these are all off of a bracelet. They're like the charms off of a bracelet. There's a cross, beautiful cross. There's a fish. There's praying hands. And another praying hands. And then there's a bunch of little bead caps. They look like this. They're nice quality like those beads. I wouldn't be surprised if they came off the same piece. And then this little plastic, it looks like it might have been a button, but the shank is broken. But it's pretty. So I like this one. I thought this one was really nice. But I love these beads. Like I said, once I'm done showing you guys, I'll dump it all out and organize it. And those beads will go into my beads. Because those gorgeous metal beads and bead caps are stunning. Now I have a whole drawer of this type of jewelry. So it gives me some ideas too. And what my goal is once my studio is completely put together is to make up kits. All kinds of crafting kits. And put together different kinds of supplies. I apologize for the phone. I can't reach it and I'd have to walk away. Here's a beautiful angel. It also goes to this bracelet, and a dove. You see, here's another one of those beads. This piece is gorgeous, but it's definitely got the blue on it. I tried to scrub it last night because I did see that in the bag and pulled it out, but I'm going to probably have to pop this jewel out because that's just bad. I'm not even going to put it back in the bag. It's so badly damaged. I'll pop this jewel out and throw, unfortunately I'll have to throw that away because I scrubbed as hard as I could. I couldn't get that green off. So that won't go back in the bag. There's this gorgeous piece. That was clearly a nice pair of earrings. Very nice quality, gorgeous reflection. A rhinestone button, really cute. And this is a pretty, whether I take the beads off, which I may, this is actually signed, is there a brand called Marvella or something like that? But anyway, the beads are gorgeous. I might take those off. Here's more of those black beads that were in another bag, and they feel like glass, and they sound like glass. You can hear they're glass. That's a pretty one. I love this. This is a broken brooch, and it's just beautiful. All those little pearls. One missing, but that's pretty standard. There's another cross. So they must have had a couple of those bracelets that they took apart. Here's another beautiful cross. This is an interesting little charm. Broken earring. I mean, you can see that earring got twisted up bad. This one does say 925 on it, so that'll go into our gold and silver. But look at the stone on that. It's very unique and pretty. Here's a one with missing stones, but again, those can be layered and used. A cheapy rhinestone. I have a drawer for that kind of stuff too. This one's kind of cool. And it could be used somehow as a button. You could go through those two holes there. You know, I wouldn't go between. I'd go through that hole. I'd go through that hole. I'd go through the two holes. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go through here. I'd go through this hole, through that hole. Let me see if you can see it. I'd go through that hole, through that hole. See if you can see the holes. Yeah, see right there? There's a hole on either side. They come together. I'd go through each hole if I was going to use it as a button. Here's a rhinestone. And just some random beads. This is kind of a pretty carved piece. I don't know if that's stone or plastic. It's really cool. And then this one would be a nice piece to fill with like mosaic or acrylic or something. And it's a little kind of nautical looking one. And then this one, which is kind of coming apart. So that was another, had a lot, oh, and then there was one more black bead that I forgot to pour out. And I ended up with a good amount of those black beads too. So I think just the black beads and those silver beads and the silver bead caps, along with the little piece of sterling, oh, this cannot go back in there, I'm gonna leave that out, is worth the money I spent on all the bags. And then I've got all the other little extras. Yeah, just these bead caps are stunning. They're very heavy, high quality. Let's see if I can show you. They're very high quality. I mean, they're something nice. So, like I said, after I go through the last, I got one more bag, and then I'll show you the buttons. I'll just pour the buttons out together. This video's getting a little long. Yeah, see, here's a bunch more of those beads. I think I ended up with 10 of them total, as far as I could tell. Maybe 10. I don't know. I haven't counted. That's really pretty. That's kind of got a neat texture in the center with the pretty thing around the side. You can see from the back the texture's in there too. I think this is super cool. Just some nice simple pieces that could be used for all kinds of things. And they're going to go in my bucket other than the things I pull out. And then eventually I'll go through my bucket. I'm going to make up some, here's another dove. And another one of those gorgeous angels. And then a few more of these plastic, they're kind of nice quality plastic bicone beads. And then this is another one of those buttons. Oh no, that's, well, it obviously came off of something. But, and then this is an interesting piece, kind of broken, but still kind of cool. If you covered this side with something else, you could definitely use that. And then a nice, this is very lightweight. I think it's plastic coated with metal. It doesn't feel like metal. And then this is gorgeous. Was there another one of these in a different bag? There might have been. But anyway, so that's the rest of that. Like I said, I looked at the bags pretty carefully before purchasing them to see what, because there was a whole bowl of them. And they were each $3. So let me show you what and there's more of those bead caps in here too. So I know I got a bunch of those bead caps and a bunch of those beads. So let's see, I paid $3, $6, $9, $12, $15, $18, $21 for all this stuff. But I got to pick what I wanted, not just take a jar that had mostly, because the problem was I would pay $20 or $30 for a jar if there was good stuff in it. Now these are 2 bags. The buttons were $2 each. So this is both bags of buttons. And they're mostly nondescript buttons, but I want to start doing some more button flowers. This is a brass piece that's really cool, and it's got the full shank on it. And this one's got the full shank, and it's metal. This was a cool one, kind of a thick, chunky, you could use either direction. This one's kind of cool. You could use it as a background with a couple other beads on it. Same with this one. A flower. It's got its full shank. But mainly what I was looking for, and then I got a few like that, shank buttons. I was looking for really, now that one's really pretty. It's kind of carved looking, pearlescent. This one is really natural looking. It's just like the other one. It's a carved star. This is a fun one. It's fat and the same on both sides. And here is a metal button that's very, metal button with a nice edging on it. And just some simple, like this is a real pretty root beer color that's frosted on it. This one has that fabric I guess you stitch through. I don't know. Got a couple, that's got a shank. Here's another one like that other one, except a slightly different color. And then some pretty pearl with the short shanks, like the area to stitch through. And a few fabric ones. This one's another one of those that was in one of those bags. Same thing. Here is a leaf that's really pretty, a red leaf. But mainly what I wanted was a lot of this type of button. These are great for making the button flowers. And there's quite a few of those in here in different sizes. Here's another one of those stars. Another cloth one. And another cloth one. And this has got a lot of fabric thread on it. This one's really pretty. And I have a ton of buttons already. I just wanted a little... Now there's a little pin that got lost in there. That came with the buttons. What does that say? Let's see. FFA. I think vocational. FFA. I'll have to research it. But I got these pretty buttons in all different colors. And I wanted to make some more button flowers and just wanted to add a few more things. There's another rhinestone button. Another fabric button. But these I fell in love with. And there's a bunch of these. Look at that. And I saw those through the bag, but I didn't realize how many I got. This has a shank, and it's a real pretty plastic flower. Here's a simple brass-looking button. So just a lot of really pretty buttons to add to my collection. So anyway, that's all the goodies I got. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit longer, but there's no way to show you all this stuff without it taking some time. I also got a few books I'll show you real quick. Tatting is something I've wanted to learn to do, and I do have a tatting shuttle somewhere. This is for the grandkids. I already found one just like this for about the same price. This is for our daughter. She loves to do dots, and this is like a little pattern book. And you just follow the dots, and it gives you all the markers for it. And then this one is brush strokes, because I'd like to get back into some painting. And I paid 50 cents, no, $1 for this one. These four, I paid less. That one I just showed you, plus this one, which has some absolutely stunning stuff in it. It's a 2009. And then this one, Designing with Words. I don't know if you can see it. This, Bella Amore Jewelry. Also, this is 2011. These are $15 magazines, the two magazines. Those were all 25 cents each with the painting one I showed you. I paid $1 for all four. They had books for $1. This I paid at the same store I bought all the buttons and stuff. They had it at $8. They marked it down to $3. And this has some amazing jewelry in it. Some stuff that I've kind of done a little bit of, but a lot of really interesting ideas. So I'm very excited. And I saw it and put it back, and then David saw it and said, hey, it's only $3. Why don't you get it? So that's my little, oh, and then I got these, which I'm probably going to just sell on eBay, because people love these plastic adornments. There's 3 of them. They're plastic, but they look like wood. And these were, I believe, $4. I don't know why the price isn't on it. It was on everything else. I believe these were $4 for the 3 of them. But I just thought, they might have even been 3. They're from the same person I bought the knobs, all the knobs from. I thought they were really cool, and somebody would love these. So they will be listed on Etsy or eBay, one of the two. Anyway, so that's my little haul. And as I start putting these kits together, I'll share them here. I guess I can turn the camera around for a minute and say hi. I haven't seen you in a little bit. But as I put these kits together, I will show them on the channel and show you what I've put together, and they'll be listed on eBay or Etsy. I haven't decided where yet. I might do some junk drawer type craft lots as well. As I'm touching everything in my studio to put it away, I have a lot. I have a lot of amazing things that would be fun to put in kits. I used to show you videos of the kits I bought online, the bead of the month type boxes. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do a subscription, but I'm going to kind of put together that type of stuff as well. They'd give me like a pair of ear wires and a piece of chain and some head pins, and then some other findings like bead caps, and then an assortment of beads. So I'm probably going to build some sets like that too, with maybe a pendant and some beads for earrings, and make these little kits up that people can make things from, and I'll give them like a variety. So because that's what they did with me, is I had not everything made something, like there was extra materials. You could make a certain amount of jewelry and have extra stuff. So there'd be enough in there to make a couple pieces of jewelry, maybe 2 pairs of earrings, a necklace, a few things like that, but then there'd be a few extra materials as well. So these are the kind of things I want to do because I have such an amazing collection of beautiful things. That would be so fun, and then I can whittle it down to the stuff I really love. Some of the jewelry I can use in kits as well. I'm just going to have a lot of fun with it. So I will share that with you as I get going on that. I'm hoping in the next week to be done. All the furniture's in place, all the shelves are up. Now it's just literally going through bins of stuff that just got thrown together, and there could be, like in a little box, a piece of ribbon and a cookie cutter for some odd reason, a piece of, because I pick up silver plate to use for projects, forks, knives, spoons, a piece of that, or there could be some felt cutouts that never got put, just crazy stuff. So right now that's what I got to do, is sit down and just sort it into piles and then pull the boxes down and put each thing away. And that's going to be the most tedious part, but I've never actually been able to have the space to put every single thing away. And if I have an assortment of things that don't go in another box, then I can have a little bin of just that miscellaneous stuff. But I have all my drawers that have all the different types of things like embellishments, jewelry, rhinestone chain, the closed chain bracelets, the ones that are like little rhinestone bracelets. I have a whole drawer of that type of rhinestone jewelry for crafting. I've got a whole big drawer full of the kind of stuff I just showed you. Most of it not missing the backs. Most of the earrings are intact and stuff, but any kind of rhinestone jewelry that wasn't worth selling went in there. If it was missing a rhinestone, if it was broken, whatever. And so I'm going to have a lot of fun making these kits up, and I probably won't sell outside these kits because it's just hard to do, because when I show stuff, if somebody asks me for it, then there might be somebody else that wants it but didn't know they could ask. So I figured the fair way to do this is to make up these kits, list the kits, then do a video showing you, hey, these are the kits I just listed, and drop the video the same day as the listing. So if anybody is interested, they can go buy it, or if you just want to look at it. I don't ever promote buy my stuff, you know that. I'm happy to sell my stuff, that's what I want to do, but I don't ask you to do that. But a lot of times people like to go to listings because they just want to see the item. I do that sometimes. You just want to see the details, or you want to see something about it, or maybe you want to make your own kits and want to get an idea. But I'm going to share them, and whoever does want them will have the opportunity to go buy them. I'm going to try to do hundreds of these kits, all different kinds. Some will be crazy quilt kits with a piece of piece of velvet with all the different things, embroidery floss, buttons, sequins, pieces of jewelry that could be sewn on, just all kinds of really cool stuff. I'm just really looking forward to this. It sounds so fun and creative, and I cannot wait to do it. So that's what I'll be up to as soon as my room's done, which I think I can pull off in the next week. I still have a bunch of boxes. That door jamb, you can see the kitchen door, and then beyond that is a door jamb. That was my old studio. There's still a handful of boxes in there. Some of it's bigger stuff, some of it's little stuff, and there's literally a big box of jewelry in there. One of those clear totes with the white lids that are fairly good size. The bigger ones, which are standard big ones. About 3/4 full of jewelry too. Stuff I did not sell at my yard sale that I kept, some to resell, some to take apart for pieces. So I have got so much wonderful stuff to make kits up with. I'm so excited, but I've got to get this room done. It's my heart's desire to have everything put where it goes so that if I want to create something, I can pull it down. And I've got projects in boxes. My friend Sherry showed me on Patricia Winter's site a cloth doll with armature wire and and I went and bought all the pieces to make this doll. I have them all in a plastic shoebox. But I never could get it done because I am not one of those people that can create in chaos. And that other studio was chaos. This one never got a chance because it was too small. This one's not a huge studio. It's a standard size bedroom. But I've got so many shelves and drawers, everything will have a place. And I cannot wait. And a nice size little closet too that we had put shelves in when we lived here the first time. And then our daughter liked the shelves in there for her kids' clothes. So I've got so much storage in this little room, and the whole middle of the room will be empty. There'll be nothing. Right now I have a card table that I'm sorting on, but the whole middle of the room will be empty, which will give me that space I need. But when I need an extra table, I'll have the space to put my card table up. So I'm just really excited. I just cannot wait to get started, but I've got to finish this process. So maybe I'll take you along for some of the sorting. Maybe later today I'll take you in there and take you through maybe one box that I'm sorting and show you kind of what I'm doing. And a lot of this I will keep, and a lot of it I'll sell. It's probably 50-50. But that's what I want to do as I go through. What do I love? Like, what do I really want to keep and use? And what am I willing to let go? And that's what the whole thing will be about. But I'm hoping at least 50-50. Keep no more than 50. I would love it if I could get it more like get rid of 60 to 70%. But at least 50-50, at least 50-50. So I will be back soon. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I know I made it into a long video, so many people won't watch to the end, and that's okay. I'm fine. My long videos don't get very many views. My shorts get a ton of views, so I might do a quick short on this situation too and just show the bags. And then that way, if anybody wants to see the long video, they can just watch the parts they want. That's the beauty of YouTube. I don't always watch a very long video all at once, or I don't even watch all of it. I watch the parts I enjoy. So always feel free. Never going to hurt my feelings. And I wouldn't know anyway if you just watch the part you want to watch. But I'll be back soon, and my goal is within 2 weeks to be back to making regular videos, creating. I got to get back to my blue and white ornaments. I want to get back to some ornaments. I have a very special friend I want to make an ornament for. She knows who she is. She was so wonderful to us during this whole situation we went through, and I found her a little treasure when we were out yesterday too, but I'm not showing you because she watches my video. So Colleen, there's something special coming for you, and I'm making you something special. So anyway, I just hope everybody's having a great weekend, and I will be back soon. Bye.